चालू है ना? हाँ मुझे देख के बहुत पसंद आया. Thank you.
Numero uno Fiat, that translates to number one Fiat. This is the best selling Fiat of all times. I'm just so happy. Just so happy. Alright. I know इस चैनल पे बहुत ही रेयर कार्स आती है, लेकिन even I wasn't prepared for this. This is the Fiat Uno and check it out. Still has the original key with this original sort of a cover. It's grippy, has the Fiat logo engraved on it. But check out that car, Fiat Uno. Now this is a 2001 1.2. This car could have changed the hatchback equation in India. This is one of the most sold cars globally. I think they sold over 8 million. Since the time it was introduced. Boxy, and you might think it's not really aerodynamic, but there are a lot of cool touches which I'll tell you in a bit. But a true Italian masterpiece sitting right in front of us, the Fiat Uno. I'm just so happy, so glad. Before the Polo, this used to be a German tank that offered good handling, good engine performance and all of that. So straight away, let me just open the engine bay and show you that 1.2 fire engine. The fire का ये मतलब नहीं है कि engine से fire आती है out of the exhaust. What it means, like how do you open it? Okay, it's a different mechanism. You actually have to push it. It's quite cool because it's easily visible and all you have to do is push it. And that's a quick look at the engine. So 1.2 fire. Fire stands for fully integrated robotized engine. It offered a lot of benefits. It was easier to maintain, cheaper to maintain rather, because it was produced by machines. And for India, they'd done two things. They had raised the ground clearance and they'd given the underbody of the engine and the gearbox metal casings. ये गाड़ी simplicity के around build हुई थी. It had to be cheap, it had to be simple. Check it out. Single wiper. So let's start talking about the exterior of the car. It has a really long nose as opposed to the rest of the body, and it was offered with I think around 9 different variants, and talking just purely engine variants. So it had a 1 liter carbureted, it had a 1.7 diesel and a 1.2 petrol that were introduced in India, but internationally also had a 1.4, a 1.6, 1.3, whole lot of engines. Now this is the Type 2 Uno. The Uno that actually created waves, that were actually sold in a lot more numbers, was the Type 1. This is the Type 2. It got different body panels, it got newer headlamps, newer grille and a few other bits, and the interior was completely redone. यहाँ से शुरू करते आगे से. So Type 2 में ये जो indicator lenses थे ये clear थे, पहले वाले में orange थे, and headlight के design तो obviously अलग थे, and it's quite sleek, very boxy. You have the old Fiat logo here with Fiat written on the side. ये red striping पहले नहीं आती थी, ये कराया गया है, but it does suit the entire persona of the car. Now this is actually one of the first cars that was sold in India that had slots for front and rear fog lamps. It didn't come with fog lamps, but it had slots. It had the provision for you to add fog lamps. These are just stickers, and the owner has placed some additional lighting on the grille, and you have some really strong and powerful character lines. Anyone who's driven a Fiat Uno is a great fan of this car. The way it drives, the way it handles, the fuel efficiency, the build quality, it's just all there in one small package. Talking about the package, this car actually started a new segment. It didn't start the segment, it pioneered the segment. So the Super Mini segment was pioneered by Fiat. They used to make, and they really made some very nice small cars that was sold globally, and the Uno is one of them. And after that, around 10-20 manufacturers, they used the same formula, the same design concept to make their own small cars. That is how influential the Fiat Uno is. And back then, although it is a Super Mini, it packs in a lot of space, and that is because of the height of the car. So back then this was actually the tallest car in its segment, and that offered a lot of space on the inside. You'll be surprised by how much space this car packs on the inside. Let's talk about the wheels. These are 13 inches original wheels, just painted black. Gets a 1.2 badging here. A very small indicator lens on the fender, looks really cool. It has some additional trims on the side that have been painted black. Does, you know, give this car a lot more character. Has that fire badging on the side. So all the petrol Unos that were sold in India had the fire badging on the side as well as on the back. Coming to the back, okay, the logo has been changed here. You have a wiper. This is from factory, and this is where the sprayer is located. That's quite a cool location. Sprays like this, wiper works like this. This is a hatchback that did have winders for the rear windows, but it did offer a rear wiper. That's pretty cool. Now that's a quick look at the rear. Now when you compare the Type 1 Uno with the Type 2, this is where a lot of changes were made. The initial Uno didn't offer as much practicality. Just look at how wide this opening is. This seat folds flat in 2 steps, so you put it down and then you can tumble the entire seat, and it's a complete flat. You can transport a lot of things. These are also very cool. These are your connectors for fuses for your illumination units. The rest of the connectors are here, so when you close the bonnet they make contact. Very nice. You have JBL speakers on this rear parcel shelf, but a very nice, somewhere around 250 liters is what this car used to offer. Really, really cool. Oh, did you hear that thud? It is impressive. Now you do have the number plate illumination lamp that has been placed or integrated in the bumper. Oh, sort of satisfying. I can do it all day long. Didn't shut properly, but it's very satisfying. And check out the rear profile of the car. Gets very sporty bumpers. By the way, let me talk about the K design element here, or rather the K tail. So it might look very non-aerodynamic, but this actually has a really low coefficient of drag to offer good fuel efficiency. And this design that you see, it channels air like a teardrop design would, but without being a teardrop design, because that is obviously more expensive. So हवा ऐसे आती है, ऐसे ऊपर से और नीचे से ऐसे, but पीछे जाती है. So it's like a teardrop, but without the teardrop, and that is what this design element is called. It's called a K tail or a K design tail. Now this is where you put fuel in. चाबी से खुलता है ये, कुछ लिखा भी है वहाँ पे. तो बारी अब अंदर जाने की, but उससे पहले oh, you really have to shut it tight. But check out that build quality. So good. Time to step inside. All right. Very simple gauges. Oh. Now this is a model that got air conditioning. Back then this used to cost an additional 30,000 rupees just to get air conditioning. It does, or rather it used to get front power windows, but they have stopped working. So the owner has now given it manual winders for the front. पहले तो पीछे तो पहले से ही इसमें manual winders आते थे, तो वो तो रहे ही है इसमें. So in this variant you got air conditioning, you got body colored bumpers, you got power windows, and you got the rear wiper. Let's talk about the space. इस कैटेगरी का नाम सुपर मिनी है, लेकिन आप बिलीव नहीं करोगे कितनी स्पेस है इसमें. When Fiat was testing and developing this car, they made sure that the ingress and egress was easy for all body shapes. So they used different sorts of mannequins, all sizes, all shapes, and I can confirm that this car is very practical. It was a breeze stepping inside the car, because usually पुरानी गाड़ी में क्या होता है, मुझे बैठना पड़ता है अजीब तरीके से. I'm over 6 feet tall, right? So मुझे अपना पाँव ऐसा ऐसा करके निकालना पड़ता है. इस कार में वो दिक्कत नहीं हुई. So yes, it does have a lot of space. Not just in the front but also in the back. Fiat ने क्या किया था, इस कार को एक स्पेस सेंटर पे अनवील किया था. The Kennedy International Space Center in Florida is where the Fiat Uno, the Type 1, was first showcased to the world. So cool, because space. That's a very interesting wordplay. All right, let's start from the top. You have some space here to give you that practicality, so you can put in your phone, a lot of things here actually. And it's a very flat dashboard, so it does not like eat into the cabin space. This is an ashtray. It's such a cool placement here. I mean, you don't have to ash your cigarette down here. Just put it on top. Easy to clean, easy to maintain. Quite nice. Let's talk about the instrument cluster. So you have your fuel gauge, your speedometer, and your temperature gauge. And that's about it. You have your telltale lights all stacked together in one array. Pretty simple. You have your hazard switch here. Now, if you notice, the stalks are also quite different. So your illumination controls are here. You have to twist it. All right. there. All right, this is for your indicators and this is for your wipers. Now let's put the single wiper to use. Nice, so cool. All right, चाबी निकालने के लिए भी जो अटकने वाला मैकेनिज्म होता है उसके लिए भी यहाँ पे एक एडिशनल बटन दिया है, this one, to pull out your key. All right, the vents, they do have flow control as well. Center vents में भी है ये. Center vents का position थोड़ा सा नीचे है, side vents are slightly above. It gets outside rear view mirrors on both the sides. It was the first car in India to get a day and night inside a rear view mirror. Now let's come here. This is your air con unit. This is how you adjust your temperature. Where's the heater setting? Okay, I think it's just minimum and max and it's all blue. So this is just a chiller unit, I'm guessing, does not get heating function. This is how you can direct your airflow, your blower speed control and your ventilation. This is your air con button. The owner has very tastefully gotten himself a Kenwood head unit from a Mitsubishi Lancer, and it still works. It's actually pretty cool to have such a cool and old school unit in an old school car. Quite nice. This is what I like about people who modify their cars tastefully. All right, now lower down you would see a very simple handbrake. Now as soon as I step on the brake, the doors lock automatically. That tells me that the central locking system is still working. And to adjust your backrest, the levers have been placed on the inner side of the seat, and to slide it back and forth you still have the lever down below. It gets a 5-speed manual with a traditional shift-in mechanism. All right, a little notchy, but I've heard good things about the engine, and I've heard really brilliant things about the way she handles. A nice 4-spoke steering wheel. It's nice to grip, good visibility from around the cabin. These pillars are relatively thin. This is where the papers of the car are, the RC book and stuff, which you don't need to have a look at. But check this out. This is the original stuff, all preserved, all very well kept. All right, it's time to step. Central locking still works, and I have to take the key with me because the car has a tendency of locking people inside and out. Now, oh, this is how you push it to open. All right, into the back seat. Oh, now even in modern cars it's difficult for me to step inside when this seat is set to the maximum, but here I've just been able to squeeze myself. I actually feel rather comfortable. पीछे headrest नहीं है, which again not great in terms of the safety, but I mean there's a lot of airiness because of that, because I have some decent view from behind through this windscreen. And just look at how wide this area is. Pretty cool. Now, very interesting, there's a little storage here for your coins and stuff. Why is it on the floor? We don't know. But you have your manual winders, you have nice grippy chunky handles for the door, and nothing really fancy except the fact that it was meant to give you a lot more practicality and a lot more space than what other cars used to offer. Sometimes I consider myself to be really lucky to have access to these cars and then also drive them and give you my driving impressions. It's actually an honor to do this. Right, let's buckle ourselves in because safety is key. All right, I'm going to leave the AC on for a little bit. The car clearly does not have power steering because I'm putting in all my effort. Wow, power steering has made driving so much easier. And off we go. Wow, immediately it's peppy and it's smooth and it's refined. Wow, the first two things that came to mind. Okay, I haven't actually driven it a lot, but it picked up really smoothly, effortlessly. I'm just so happy. Just so happy. All right. No way. Wow! Wasn't expecting that at all. It's not like really high speeds, but I mean it has potential, man. Oh, this is impressive, truly impressive. And I must say that the ride is actually very supple, so all these undulations are being soaked up really well, so it's a very basic yet a very functional suspension setup. So usually in cars this old, there are a few issues. One is the ground clearance. This car, not an issue. Seating position, not an issue. I'm actually seated quite high up, so I have good visibility all around. And fuel efficiency, it was good, but not as good as what Maruti was offering back then. And reliability, yes, it was reliable, because they actually see, look, the suspension. It's supple, it's soft, it's plushy, it's comfortable. It's a nice car. Oh, look at that. Look at this. Oh, beautiful. Just go extra slow and extra careful. You know, a lot of the parts I think are still imported from Europe or Brazil. Brazil was actually the country that took forward the legacy of the Uno from Europe, so they continued to produce it for the longest time after the car was officially discontinued, and they kept it in production for the longest time. And this car actually had a few different versions. It had a sedan version, there was a pickup version as well, and it could do it all. That's the beauty of it. Direct feedback from the steering wheel, brilliant suspension, a very entertaining engine, especially from the era that it actually belongs to, and like a very refined driving experience. This car should have done well. This car should have done well. I feel sorry. Oh, let's actually give it another run by turning on the NOS. Basically switch off the AC and go for it. Let's see if it makes a big difference or just a teeny bitty difference. Okay, you can definitely hear the engine rev a lot free, so it's climbing up to speeds a lot faster. That's why it was called the NOS button. This car is eager. This car is exciting. This car is fun. So somewhere around 90 Nm of torque and close to 67 horsepower, 60, 65, not really sure. It does not have a lot of weight. It is so exciting. After the AC off, it has a different character altogether, as if VTEC or something kicked in. But God, this car, man. Oh God. It's just when you have to shift or when you have to take a turn is when you actually feel that you're driving something old, but otherwise. Numero uno Fiat, that translates to #1 Fiat. This is the best-selling Fiat of all times. This is actually the 8th most sold car platforms across the globe ever. I mean, across all time. So capable, beautiful, has a great legacy and history, and just like me, a lot of people around the globe would still be driving it this morning. In fact, in a few backward remote areas of Italy, they're still being used as cop cars. Oh, with the AC off, man, it has a different character altogether. Wow. Oh, good fun car. Good fun car. Great suspension. That noise is just the rear parcel shelf. It's nothing really. Oh, this is good. This is good. I'm going to hop on to OLX and see if there are any being sold currently, because I'm generally impressed by it. Alright guys, that was a quick driving impression with the Fiat Uno. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one. And I appreciate you sticking around till the very end and watching this beautiful piece of history. Thank you so much. See you. Bye.